this track, it's going to go on the south side of Ada, but not by much.
I'm going to speed this up, and then we got to get back to Allen, David, just to show you.
Yep. Lula at 306.
There we go.
Okay, Lula 309, Steedman at 310, and Allen again with this circulation. It'll probably be a little farther south at 317. So if you live south, if you live in Ada, south of Ada, lowest level, center part of the house, Tom Pastrano's coming in on the back side of this thing. Circulation is just south of Highway 1, going to Union Valley. And what is that?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Aloso?
Yes.
That's not really that's an old post.
Definitely southeast of Ada, between southeast of Ada and Stonewall.
Oh, it's
even.
close. No,
yeah.
Look, I mean, it's if I'm in Ada,
yeah.
I'm going to the safe spot, lowest level, and I'm going now. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. This is Ada. Okay. Let's come back to the northeast now. Okay. Tornado is going to be probably on the ground now, on the southeastern sides of Allen.
Oh, it's on the ground. That's got to be debris,
Yep.
David.
Okay. On the ground. Yep. Lots of debris now. Lots of debris being lofted up into the sky. Okay. So there we go. There's your cylinder. There's your mesocyclone. So once again, tornado looks like debris being lofted into the sky. We can see that. And there's Allen. The tornado is going to be just to the east and southeast of Allen. Tornado here on the ground at East Farm Road 1470 and North-South Farm Road 373. 1470, 373. If you live north in this location or north and east of that, lowest level, center part of the house, you don't have time. You got to go now, okay? Tornado's on the ground. This is going to be on the ground most likely.
This is 6 miles to the southwest of Atwood, puts it in Atwood in just less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes, Atwood.
Okay, because moving north, speed at 50?
Yeah, I kept it at 50.
Okay, so it's hauling. It's almost a mile a minute. Think about that. It's a mile a minute, 6 minutes away. Basically, it's 6 miles from town, okay? So you folks in Atwood, between Atwood and Calvin, I keep thinking it might get a little bit of a swing.
Yeah, or slow down some, which is very possible.
It could happen, but again, we're splitting hairs here, right? Atwood, lowest level, center part of the house. Right now, it's trying to parallel State Highway 48 in between Allen and Atwood. So if you live along and east of State Highway 48, lowest level, center part of the house, this is Calvin. Calvin, you're not out of the woods yet by any means. Okay, and then back to the west. And also, guys, Justin, keep me up to date. Anything developing on the dry line to the west or in the metro here? Okay, so 70, we're at 110.
Yeah.
110 knots of shear. So this would be I'm not going to say it's not going to be a strong tornado, but it looks like it's on the ground now. It's crossing 1470 right now, and it's going to try to go up or parallel Highway 48.
If you go to links 2, David, you can kind of see all these products all together. This is going to be in Hughes County, now east of Allen, and you can see more debris absolutely on radar.
Yep. Okay, so here's the deal. There's velocity. There's the tornado. There's the hook. And I want to point out, see how the rain wraps around, right? The updraft it's keeping itself kind of clean. There's going to be some rain around this, so this is not going to be a big, clear tornado just hanging out. It's going to have rain around it. And you can see how the rain, the heavier, the purples and the blacks are trying to wrap around the tornado. See the eye? That's the eye of the tornado. That's it right there. Okay, shear rate lines up, tornado, tornado, velocity, tornado, and debris lofted. Tornado confirmed. Okay, right? Tornado on the ground. It's paralleling 48, and it's going to go right up 48, right? It's going to go right up 48. There's the tornado east of Allen. And it's going to Atwood the way it looks right now. It might miss Atwood, but not by much, or it's going to hit Atwood, okay? So again, if you live in northwestern Hughes County, western or southwestern Hughes County, northeast of Allen, lowest level, center part of the house. If you live in a mobile home or a trailer, you have to get out. Okay, so this is going to be Allen, and this is Atwood. There's the tornado. All right, it's just barely southeast of Highway 48. Okay, and then there's the debris. Radar showing us the debris lofted 10, 15,000 feet up. And then there's the tornado itself. All right, tornado tracking doesn't get any better than that. Okay? We cannot tell you any better and any more high resolution where the tornado is. But that's the tornado. That's the tornado. That's the tornado. That's the tornado. Okay, let's get a storm track.
It's on links 1.
Links 1. Here's your track. There's the tornado. Atwood.
Let me change it 1 second. There you go.
Yep. 257. All right, so we're there. We're almost there. You've got less than 5 minutes in Atwood. It's moving nearly a mile a minute, and can't rule out Calvin yet. Right? Spalding. You've already had a tornado this year back in April. We had 1 loss of life, which is horrible in Spalding due to the tornado in April. And again, this is making its way quickly northeast, okay? All right, so Atwood, Atwood, Atwood. Tornado, Atwood. It's going to Atwood. All right? It's going to go close to Atwood or hit Atwood directly. And it's on the ground. Looking at the latest data here. All right, what about the storm back to the southwest?
It weakened a little bit.
Okay, tornado warning on this now. And,
more stretched out.
Okay, yep, a little bit broader than what it was.
Yep.
This is Eta. Circulation's here. It's not as tight.
Still very dangerous, definitely.
Still could produce a tornado, okay? Still could produce a tornado south and east of Eta. And by the way, this is horrible chasing country down here. It's not good. Roads are not good. When you're chasing, you're taking a chainsaw and you're cutting through trees just to get through. And it's just a tough go. There's the circulation now, and it's not as tight. The hook's not as pronounced. So that has gone the good way. The trend is good with that. Still, if I live in Eta or south of Eta, I'm going to my safe spot. Why? Don't take a chance and have this thing ramp up. Golf ball size hail with it as well, just northeast of Fitzhugh. Okay, so tornado warning again. It's going to be 80s included, but it's going to go on or probably just south of Eta the way it looks right now. It's going to go probably Eta. You get the hail, and the tornado threat right now, it's going to be close. Again, if I'm in Eta, safe spot, lowest level, let's just do it. Why take a chance, right?
It wouldn't take much at all for it to swing north.
No, it could easily pivot up here. Okay, what about the storm down here?
Just to show you, we've got another storm at the hill course coming up over Falls Creek.
Okay.
You'd think the atmosphere would be a little worked over from the storms down the line, but...
And that's going to Sulphur?
It is.
Actually, it's just south and west of Sulphur.
Yeah.
That is a supercell. It's tiny, but it is spinning. And then we have big hail down here, and that's going to be making its way to Nakona. That's in North Texas.
Yeah, the storm is moving almost due east right now.
Thackerville. So here's the deal. Thackerville, the casino, down on the Red River, lots of people. That place is busy 24 hours a day, 365, right? If you have any friends or family at the casino, you got to call them and let them know there's a big rotating thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado that is headed towards Thackerville. All right, headed towards Marietta in Love County, okay? Please, let somebody know what's coming in from the west, okay? All right, so let's come back up north.
If you go to links 2, David, you can see
links 2?
Yes, you can see the donut hole right now in reflectivity.
Yep, it's back again. It's actually bigger now than what it was. So there's the tornado right just south, pretty much on Highway 48, still going to Atwood, right? 3 miles south of town. There's the circulation on velocity data. That's the tornado. And there's the debris that the radar is seeing, being lofted. Radar is looking up at about 10 to 15,000 feet. It's got to be at least an EF2 to get you up there. And it's hitting stuff. And remember, there's more trees over here too, so it's able to pick up more debris, more leaves and things like that. And then there's shear rate right here. There's your tornado. It's now northeast of Allen. Okay, you folks in Allen, you're good for now. But there's your tornado.
Just making a direct beeline right at Atwood.
Yeah, it really is. Atwood, lowest level, center part of the house, okay?
And a lot of folks live. You can see all the homes south of Atwood. You know, it's definitely a rural area, but so many homes throughout the south of Atwood. Just beautiful part of Oklahoma.
Yeah, the river.
Man, right now.
Yeah, river runs through here.
Yeah.
I know, lots of farms, lots of ranches, big horsing community down here, and cattle and everything else. So again, Atwood, if you live in Atwood, south of town, southwest of town, lowest level, center part of the house, okay? You got to go now. Here's shear rate. There's your tornado. There's your tornado. Might be a little bit messy right now, a little more rain, but you can see the eye of the tornado. The center of the tornado is right there, right? And there's the tornado. There's the couplet where you have the blues up against the reds. Tornado's here. And then that's some of the debris that has been lofted by the tornado. So this tornado is doing damage right now. And it's done damage here for about the last 10 minutes or so. Okay. All right, let's come back to Tom's storm.
Okay. Let's go to Links 1.
Links 1 control room. Let's just make sure we're good on that. And guys, anything showing up, Justin, West Metro? Any big towers starting to plume? Nothing?
Nothing really showing up on visible right now.
Okay. And data still says, right? Says that
yeah, the last run still was.
The dry line, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so right now, this is the only game in town. Like we've been saying, we do expect another line of storms to develop up and down I-35 back to Highway 81, along and, again, west of I-35. And that'll be including, obviously, Oklahoma City when that happens here. And it's already 3 o'clock. Between 3 and 4 o'clock, these storms took 10 minutes to go into crazy mode. Okay, so it looks like a big mess down here, and it is. It's a big mess, big complex, lots of heavy rain. And all right, let's come back south now, talk about the Pontotoc.
Okay.
And hail now in Ada, over Latta, big hail in Ada.
Saturday night they had a big hailstorm. I can't keep them. Well, there was a big hailstorm just a night or two ago.
Yeah.
Came right through Ada once again.
Yeah, we worked Saturday, right? That was Saturday, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. It was Saturday.
I don't know. Someone told me today it was Monday, and I was like, okay.
Right.
I don't know what day it is. All right, so Ada, hail coming into Ada, quarters, golf balls, maybe even some tennis ball size hail. South side of town, this is your hail core. And I think nickels and dimes and quarters in Ada, okay? If you've got a pick, we'll take it. But again, don't get injured taking a picture. Hail core is going right over Ada and then racing northeast, okay? Circulation is a bit disorganized right now, which is good. But also we got to keep in mind the distance and also the tilt.
And it almost looks like, is that a new shower being pulled up at the end? It sure looks like
on the backside.
Some weird, yeah.
I know. That looks a little interesting. And so does what's going on near Union City.
Yeah.
Obviously, but yeah, there's a lot happening here. What does shear rate look like? Okay, yeah, it's right here.
Still the same area.
It's going on just on the southeast side of Ada. Here's what area of spin is. Justin, you got something? You looked at me like you had something. Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's the area of spin now, crossing the highway, crossing Highway 3. Yes, Highway 3 branches off from 377, but this is Highway 3 right here. Area of spin, southeast of Ada. Big hail in Ada right now. Lots of hail, it looks like. Okay, but this is continuing to ramp up back to the west here. This is you're thinking, it looks like a hook behind you. I know. And I don't know if maybe the flanking line, part of the updraft, is trying to do something here. Maybe. So, Justin, maybe have Tom kind of look out his back door, see what he sees back behind him.
And then you got the next little supercell, which is going to go west of Sulphur.
Yep, lifting.
Lifting north.
That's a good sign right now, is that is lifting north. Okay.
There's a lot of lightning with that little storm. That is a strong,
small,
but very mighty little storm.
Look at the size of the storms up here. I mean, this thing is tiny, but the hail core is missing Sulphur. It just went going through Jollyville. The hail core is going to go on and east of Davis again, crossing Highway 7. Shear rate, nothing showing up. That's concerning right now as far as a strong circulation area, quarter-size hail. Davis east, down 7, you're going to get hail. And that's going to be, just went right over Falls Creek with some hail there. It's a supercell. Big supercell in Texas. Tornado warning for that. It might have weakened a little bit, but it's going into Love County. And it's also Ardmore South. You folks down here that watch us streaming and whatever, many other ways. Carter County, Love County. Big storm, big hail, big wind, and a tornado threat with that. Okay?
And it looks like, just noticing.
There's a dry line.
Yeah, and if I look at the tops, it almost looked like,
right
yes, a couple of showers trying to go. Yeah, right there.
That's it. Okay, so this might be the beginning of the big wave of supercells of the day. That might be the first storm of the day here. And this is going to unzip up the dry line. Let's get to Tom Pastrano here.
Okay.
Let's just get a quick update on his shot control room. And Tom, we have your shot up. And your storm is not quite as organized, Tom, as what it was, Tom Pastrano, but still rotating there just to the south and east of Ada. Tom, there's a feature I know Justin was talking about behind you that you can see it much better than I can. I'm looking at radar here, but it looks like maybe the flanking line is doing something interesting behind you. But either way, give us an update.
Yeah, so David, I'm coming into Ada right now, about to intersect with 3, and I can see it. It is part of that flanking line. I don't see anything that's crazy with it. There's just a lot of chaotic motion in this area at my location, which is right. It's really strong northwest winds coming behind the storm. So I'm going to get into Ada and then go east and try to get ahead of it. I had to take a couple of detours, kind of really hard chasing out eastern Oklahoma. But, yeah, we'll try to catch the storm and get ahead of it. Back to you.
Okay, and what Tom said there is important. He said he has a strong northwest wind. So there won't be any tornadoes, at least in basically out his back door or behind him. At least not right now. Circulation is where it has been. That's to his east. That's why he has, again, that northwest wind there. So that's good, but we still have problems, again, off to our east. Okay, let's go back to Links 1. And once again, talking about the tornado warning down south and east of Ada. And also, let's get, I'll tell you what, let's go back to the other one here, guys. Sorry.
What, Ada?
Yes, the Allen, the Calvin.
Yeah, that's where we are.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
So right here, and there it is. Tornado again confirmed on the ground now. It went on and just east of Ada. There might be, Atwood. There might be damage in Atwood or just south and east of Atwood. And LabSat Lace, let's see what we have here.
Yeah, it went just south. It was so close. It may have been right on top of or just to the east of Atwood.
It might have missed you, but if it did, it's by a mile. Okay? And what about CC? What's it showing here as far as any debris?
It weakened some.
Okay. Yep.
Not seeing much at all.
Okay.
But
and it looks like it's weakened too on velocity data. Tornado debris. It might have come back up, but now it looks like that has weakened. So, which is good. Hey, Lace, take it here for just a second. I'm going to change up my batteries.
All right, the tornado warning definitely continues now for north and east of Atwood, north of Highway 1. It looks like the circulation is going in between Atwood and Calvin. So Calvin, you need to be in your safe spot. It does look like this is going to go just to the west of town, but it's too close to call. So the lowest level, centermost portion of your home, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Hunker down, let this thing get a little further to the north, and then you're going to have to watch storms further to your southeast, but then you'll be okay with this particular one. Shear rate just got an update here, and it's crossing the river right now, just north of State Highway 1. And I'm going to take off some of these colors and a little bit of the green here, and you'll be able to see the county roads. So here's East-West 139 Road, and this is coming up towards a little community of Crossroads. We'll cross Highway 270 eventually, coming up to Hughes County, and down the line from there is going to be Horntown. So Horntown, the tornado warning continues for you. If you live south of Horntown and southwest of Horntown, you are now next in line for this potential tornado. The circulation has broadened out some. Let me check it now. We just got another scan. It's still tight enough. This could still be on the ground. It looks weaker than it was. For sure, but this is headed towards Horntown, David. I'll put the time of arrival there for you. I'm going to put it at 50 just to give people a little bit of lead time. It may not be moving quite that fast, but it's sure close.
Yeah,
and here we go.
It's right here. I mean, it's still spinning. I mean, it's a mesocyclone. It's already produced a tornado with damage south and, like she was saying, south and southeast of Ada. Atwood. I keep saying Ada because we have two storms going on. And again, this is, like she said, going to Horntown, 315. So circulation's right here. Not as tight.
No.
Certainly not as tight as what we had. So that is certainly good news. All right. Well, let's keep moving it northeast there. So that's going to be Atwood. Again, from Atwood up to Horntown. There's your hook. And you can see the hook right here.
I'm just turning the clearly off. There you go. Clearly
showing up north of Calvin. So Holdenville, you're good. This is going to go to your south and east, okay? You have rain in Holdenville. You might get some hail, sure. But the tornado threat is north of Calvin. It's right up in here.
And look at this hail, David, coming into Okemah.
Yeah,
now.
Let's see. Yeah, that's
going to cross I-40.
Yeah, that is a huge. What size hail do we have in that, Lace?
So this is south of Okemah now, and we'll see the hail detectors easily baseballs. I mean, radar is showing every bit of baseballs with this. And this is going to be 4 miles south of Okemah, and this is going to be very large, very dangerous hailstorm crossing I-40 here in the next 5 minutes. Crossing I-40 from Okemah back over to Fayro, and then further to the north of there, it's going to go up to IXL, all through Okfuskee County, across Highway 56. So folks in that area, very low, could be baseball size hail, and winds could be 45 to 50, may have winds to 60 with this, David. Don't see circulation in this area,
No,
but man, that's the biggest hail in the state right now, and that storm is increasing.
So any interest at all, your property, your home, your car, whatever you can do to protect it. It's going to be, by the way, there's going to be some wind with this because of the speed of the storm. So you throw in any wind at all, 20, 30, 40, 50 miles per hour, maybe higher. You throw in some tennis balls to baseballs to maybe softball size hail. You're going to get a tremendous hailstorm from Okemah off to the east. Go ahead and lapse that one more time. I know you had it going there.
No, it's fine. It's moving almost due north.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's going up 277, is it not?
Yeah, Highway 27.
27.
Yep.
Yeah. Going up 27, yeah. So Okemah, if you live in Okemah, east of Okemah, it's coming in right now. Here it comes. You have just a minute.
David, if you want to see some of the hail that we've seen from this storm, go over to links 3. We've gotten a few pictures in from the Sulphur and Holdenville area.
Okay.
So
and
these storms have been hail producers, some close to, looks like golf balls.
Yep.
Obviously, you don't see a golf ball in the shot, but
no, it's still.
That's hail that's going to do some damage.
Okay, yeah, quarters and bigger. You're going to have some damage. Okay, so that's from Holdenville. Okay, so you've already had hail in Holdenville. All right, let's get back to it. And once
They're
again,
all severe. I just took the warnings off because it's kind of a mess.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree, yeah. So looking at velocity data here, looking at anything spinning, and you're thinking about, what about Oklahoma City? We're still waiting. The dry line is still to our west. Dry line still, where is it, Justin? El Reno? West of El Reno?
Yeah, I'm on links 2. I can pull that up for you.
Okay, let's go to links 2.
Well, hold on. It's not there anymore.
Okay.
Give me a second.
All right. And just talking about the trigger to get additional storms.
Right.
And we have this, see how this is one of the models, and see how it doesn't even have anything over here right now, right? So here's your dry line running from now just west of Ponca City, back down to El Reno, and then from there, it's east of Lawton now, all the way down into parts of Jefferson and Stevens County. So this right here is going to be where storms develop, along where you see dew points in the upper 60s to near 70 and greater, which this is going to be the trigger zone for additional storms for the afternoon. Might not have that many storms, but we still might have enough to give us, problems.
And David, we talked about it. We've talked about it the last couple of days. Where would that dry line kind of stall out and really tighten up? And we have a southwest wind here through Oklahoma County all the way through Norman now. It's a light southwest breeze, but it still is bringing in the drier air from back off to the west.
Yeah.
We're still in the low 70 degree dew points, but we have a southwest wind instead of a south-southeast ahead of the dry line. So something to watch closely that it could be advancing off to the east.
Yeah, and if that were to happen, right, if the dry line scoots through Oklahoma City, we are out of it, if that happens, right? But right now, the dry line, the trigger for new storms is still west Oklahoma City, okay? So, folks, we are nowcasting, which is not forecasting. It is, but it's nowcasting. We're forecasting hour by hour by hour by hour, literally, because it's a little bit tricky on what's happening, where the dry line is going to be. I'll say this, Lace, that's now taken off.
Yeah, this is the new cell that we've been watching, south and kind of west of Duncan, and it's increasing for sure.
Justin, let's get Brandon. Let's see. What do you think, Justin? Brandon down to Lindsay, and drop him. Let's get him at least. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And remember this. Take it. It's really coming right at him. You know, he needs to just get a little bit south and then bust west, and he'll be right there. All right. So supercell in northern Texas. The tornado warning on that has dropped, but it's still a big hail producer. Now coming into all of southern Oklahoma here, at least on the Red River. It's going to Love County. It's going to get hammered. And up into Carter County, you're going to get trashed from Ardmore and down to Marietta, at least Ardmore. Ardmore looks like you're going to take a beating right now because it's moving now east-northeast, and it could produce a tornado, okay? Ardmore, back to the west and southwest, could produce a tornado as it comes into Oklahoma. So that is a problem. All right, let's come back north, and there's that shower. Boy, that's concerning.
I know.
Okay, Brandon's not very far away from it, though.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a cluster, many storms. And by the way, the more storms we see over here, the more stable the atmosphere is going to become in eastern Oklahoma, at least around this. And these use up a lot of energy. They bring the instability down. I don't care what crazy dynamics you got going on. If you lose all your instability, that's going to lower that threat. So we're still going to have problems, don't get me wrong, but the bigger this turns into, the better. And for areas to our east. But we still have to watch, again, that dry line right in here. What's
the hook, by the way, on the Pontotoc County storm, the one north of Ada, the hook looks more interesting, but the velocity data has kind of weakened a little bit.
Yeah.
So that storm's still moving so quickly.
It's still there. It's hauling. Still 50?
Yeah.
Who shot is in remote 124?
124 should be Bob, unless you had him switch
We
it.
switched it, and it's Sequoia.
Oh, Sequoia.
Sequoia, okay. Where is he?
He's north of Calvin.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Okay.
It's been in and out here the last couple of minutes. That's why I hadn't said anything. Now he has a shot.
All right, let's take his shot. And he's north of Calvin. Let's take his shot right here. And let's see what he's looking at here, okay? I see the lowering. Again, he's one of our trackers out of our sister station in Tulsa that we've brought down here today. And he's looking right at it. But that's the way it looks right now. Okay. All right. Let's go back to Lynx 1. And let's go back to Lynx 1. Okay, so he's right here. Here's Sequoia. He's going to be just north of Crossroads. And area of circulation back here that we had, again, yeah. Okay, and then the other area that went just to the east of Atwood that did produce a tornado in here, that's now here. That's where Sequoia is. And that's his shot right there. But look how it's not clean cut. It's got a lot of rain around it. He's covered in rain. But he's right here looking right at it. He's just north of Calvin. He's right where he should be. And I'm looking at his shot. Yeah. It's just not real organized right now. It's just broad.
I don't see any debris with it.
No. So that's good. That's good. Okay. So let's talk about what's going on back to the southwest now.
Okay.
And, all right, so there's your hook on that. And here's all your big hail. Yeah, it's not, there's nothing
no
in there.
couplet, no.
No. I see wind.
Right.
Some wind in there, 50 to 60 maybe, but certainly not crazy. Okay, so the tornado warnings, let's kind of just back out for a second.
Ooh, the storm's coming up south of Seminole.
Yeah, I see that too. So Seminole down to the south, big hail core now just south of town. And you folks in Seminole, it's raining there now. The hail core is to your south. What's the hail size?
You want to go in there? Okay.
Yeah, there's your hail core. There's the main core now between Bowlegs and Seminole, right? And hail core is over the highway now, over 377. Yeah, that's a problem. That's big hail. Tennis balls, maybe some baseballs. Big hail core now. Coming into Seminole from the south. What's shear rate look like? And also, look at the Sequoia shot.
Okay, I don't see much in the Seminole storm as far as rotation. And by the way, across I-40 now, the baseball size hail from Okemah going north now at 56.
56 miles per hour?
Up Highway 56.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, you're really taking that down to the exact number. Very nice.
56.2. No, the Highway 56 moving north, and it is moving at 50.
Yeah, okay, so it's hauling, right?
Yeah.
This thing is just big hail. Baseballs in that storm, southeast of Seminole, and then not quite baseballs down here north of Allen. So the storms, what's happened is they've all, remember, tornadic supercells like to be alone. They do more damage most often when they're alone and by themselves. And you can clearly see they're not, right? There's too many cooks in the kitchen on this deal. And so they're all interacting with each other. And these storms to the north, the low-level winds that are coming in are being disrupted by this big blob down here. And just look at it like a dam in the air. And again, these are running up 50, 60,000 feet up. Well, that's blocking the storms to the north. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but there's a lot of storms in one area, and they're all competing for the same jet stream winds, for the same everything, instability, moisture, and it's kind of a good thing to have them doing this right now. So that will hopefully, again, we still might get tornadoes out of this, but that'll help us out some. Okay, Let's talk about northeast of Ada.
Okay.
Sasakwa, right over you, have some hail, it looks like. The hook is messy, and there's nothing really showing up over here right now. That's just like, oh boy, here we go. We've got problems, okay? It's just not there. And the storm up near Bowlegs and Seminole, big hail. It's going to trash Seminole here on this Monday afternoon.
And it looks at times like it's trying to pull away almost.
Yeah.
And then it kind of gets
I think
interacted with the shower and kind of cell mergers to the south. But
yeah, but it's doing But, okay, but that's a supercell. It's just not a high-end supercell capable of producing a tornado right now. It's a supercell, though, and it has a mesocyclone in it. No real weakness of spin. But look at the hail sizes now. Now it's showing baseballs in and around Seminole, so that's going to be a crippling hailstorm for you. Man, just keep getting these big hailstorms right over our cities.
I know.
There's lots of real estate where we don't, people live everywhere, but we keep, we had the Mangum hailstorm. Was that last month? I don't even know when it was. Mangum.
Must have been.
Baseballs, softballs,
Yes.
trash Mangum. And we've had some
that was
of our
last month.
and Arnett yesterday. Arnett had some big hail. We keep getting big hailstorms over our small communities and cities, which is what we don't want. All right, so big hail now. Seminole down Highway 377 up to Highway 9. A little bit of a hook, but it's not crazy right now. I'm not worried about a tornado out of that currently.
I just want to show you this real quick.
Yep.
Just to show you that storm is growing now.
Yep.
Like we were talking about.
New storm. And
So just looking how high the tops are getting, up to 40,000 feet now.
Justin, what's Brandon doing?
They were fueling up.
Okay.
And then heading south.
Okay. All right, and we have Hank a little farther north. Okay, so.
Let me give you the big picture here.
Yeah, and again, nothing out west. And you're not going to have any storms west of the dry line. Actually, we can almost say now Highway 81 and just west of there, you got nothing going on. You're out of it, okay? This is going to be a Highway 81 deal to the east, up and down Highway 81, right? And then storms will develop eventually up this line. Might have 3 or 4, might have 5 or 6. But so far, the big show has been to the south and east of Oklahoma City. And if this turns into a big glob of storms, that's going to help keep our severe weather threat possibly down here in Oklahoma City. It's going to send what we call an outflow boundary, rain-cooled air into the metro, and that'll make it stable because the dry line is going to be stalled, but that would help us some. So, again, we are forecasting minute by minute, hour by hour here.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
We just got a picture from the west side of Ada. This is obviously when the storm was going through there. It has since moved past, but tree damage in Ada. That's on Links 3 if you want to show. Pretty large branch there on that tree that got taken down.
Yeah.
And some really large hail earlier on when that was going through Sulphur. This was bigger than the Sulphur hail that we showed earlier.
Okay.
Definitely golf ball larger.
Yeah. So Sulphur, you got some big hail. You have some damage down there. Go back to that tree again, and in Ada there, Andrew. That's a Bradford pear, and worst trees in Oklahoma to plant. They're not native. Just don't plant them. Builders like to put them in because they're not very expensive and they grow fast, but they don't last here. They break off. Anyway, just put a maple in. Put a native maple in. Right? We have plenty of native trees that can withstand our weather here. That's why they grow here. That's not from here. All right, back to it. Links 1.
And so the storm now south of Duncan or west of Duncan is severe, and the Roth storm.
Yep, Duncan's severe. And then Sulphur, north of there, net west of Roth, little hook. There's your hook. And, Sequoia's up here. Justin, here in just a minute, we're going to bring Tom back southwest.
Yeah, he's already.
He already is?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this is getting messy. The tornado threat over here right now is not what it was. Let's go to shear rate on that. Let me see if it's trying to, it's just broad. It's not tight. Tornado warning, again, it continues for Horntown, back down to Crossroads. I get it, but up to Lamar, it's not very tight. It's not there. It's not there. And there's your area of spin now, north of Horntown. But, lowest level up towards Carson, center part of the house. Let's do this, okay? But it's not real tight. It's pretty broad, and it just keeps getting broader. It's widening out, which is not strengthening or getting tighter as far as the
And the
area
winds
of
are
spin.
increasing west of Crossroads. So
Yeah.
we're just wondering what that area is going to do in the next 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
Kind of a new area down south of that original circulation.
Yeah. What are the winds in there? 40?
Let me see. I just keep watching it. Kind of every scan pulls up and up and up, almost 60.
Okay, yeah, wow. Okay, so that's going to Horntown.
It is.
So there might be something developing in here. Okay, northwest of Calvin. Okay, so we need to watch that. So that's coming up. So the tornado warnings continue, but I can tell you right now by looking at this, there's nothing over here that's like tornado is on the ground. We're not seeing debris lofted, okay? But we've got other problems developing back to the southwest. So the storm now west of Roth is severe, and yeah, Ada.
It's such a small little storm, but lightning, 33 strikes of lightning, David, in that shot.
And look at the hook right here. Once again, Highway 1. Highway 1. We have said Highway 1 and Ada so many times this year, more than probably ever.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
Honestly. Okay, Latta back to Fitzhugh, looking for spin. Right now, it's all aloft. It's all mid-level spin. Okay, hail's coming up, quarter size hail. Okay, quarter size hail with that. All right, let's come back to the southwest storm.
Okay.
And let's see if those guys are on their way. And yep. Are they moving yet? Okay, they're on the road. Okay. Yeah, they need to get, Justin, they got to make some time up here. Yeah. Okay, so this is now a supercell. And again, look at the size of it compared to the other storms. It's very small. It's not very big, but this is certainly a concern. You can get a tornado out of something that small, right? And that's going to make its way from Duncan over to Purdy, Pauls Valley, down the line. You folks in Garvin County and Pauls Valley, you're under the gun right now. Okay? So just be thinking about it here, okay? Pauls Valley, we'll see what it does. Paola, it's ways away. How far is that?
I was going to draw a track on one.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead.
I'll do that real quick, hang on.
Good track. So, again, Duncan, it's just west of you. It's not a very big storm. Hail sizes are not that big. Nickels and dimes, maybe some quarters, but it is already developing a hook, okay? Already what we call shear developing on the southwest side of the storm, and that's going to be right here, okay? And that's going to make its way to Duncan, and then Hope, and then up to Pauls Valley. So Garvin County, that storm is going to Garvin County.
Okay, I've got it on links 2, David, and I have it moving also at 50. May speed up, may slow down a little bit depending on what it's doing, but that looks like the kind of path it's taken at the moment.
Yep, and you got Duncan. So Duncan at 329, Lindsay 405, Maysville 414, Wynnewood, well, Pauls Valley 423, Wynnewood 424, Purcell 427, Ada at 5 o'clock, and we'll do Shawnee at about 5:05. Okay? So, yeah, it's a big, biggest storms down here by far. But this is a small supercell, but it is severe and it's getting stronger. Okay? It's getting stronger. Let's go back to links 1. And trackers, again, are scattered up and down the line for the anticipation of additional storms to develop. We've got other folks, again, down in southern Oklahoma right now. And Brandon is going to make his way down on this storm. Big storm down in Love County, damaging hail, golf ball to tennis ball size hail down in Love County. Might even have baseball size hail for you folks down in Carter and Love County. Ardmore, heads up. Okay, so big line of storms here, all supercells, some big, some small, rotating storms, big hail with that. And big hail west of Okmulgee.
David, speaking of big hail, switch back to links 3 real quick. This is from Seminole at the Chevy dealership. You can see him just blasting down into the parking lot, into the water, big splashes.
Is that the Chevy dealership?
That's what the email from the viewer said.
Well, we're going to have a hail sale. There you go. So that's sad.
Oh, man, can you see the windshields on there? I was trying to look.
Yeah. So that is Seminole. We were talking about the hail coming into Seminole, and there you go. That's exactly what happened. That's pretty big hail. Golf balls, maybe some tennis balls.
Yeah, and radar was indicating baseballs at least somewhere in town.
Yeah. On that shot, I see lots of golf balls, which is damaging cars. Okay? All right. So there you go. Seminole, you got trashed. Could have been worse, I think. It's pretty bad. If your car is left outside, you have hail damage in Seminole, at least one mark or 5 or 10 marks. All right, so back to Lynx 1. And once again, severe storms in our eastern viewing area in Seminole County. They're all severe. Let's go back to this down here. This is trying to tighten up now.
The tornado warning.
Yes,
okay.
Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, tornado warning storm here. That's tighter now. That's kind of cleaning itself up a little bit. And I'm looking at Sequoia shot. Yeah. Actually, I was looking down here.
Yeah, and that's where shear rate's ramping up some. Again, near Calvin, right to the west of, to the east of Atwood.
Yeah.
Kind of a new hook on the southern edge of that storm. It's a completely different storm.
Yeah.
Than what moved through earlier.
It's coming up. So if you live, again, in Destin, back to Carson, Lamar, and again, Sequoia's in Lamar. I'm looking at his shot. I don't see anything right there that's just off the charts. Tornado safe spot, lowest level. That area of spin is up to the north now. And there's another area that's trying to do something on here. It's just broad, not tight.
Here, I'll lapse it and take it back. It's just interesting how this has evolved. So there goes the first circulation. It's almost to Destin now.
And it weakens, though.
Weakened big time.
So it's still there, right there, little area of spin, but it's weakened. Now this is coming up, but it's also broad. It's not tight. We don't see all the bright colors, the bright reds and the bright greens and blues next to each other. And also it's wrapped in rain. Lots of rain. But need to watch this southeast flank side down here, down near Calvin. Need to keep an eye on that. All right, so again, from Calvin up to Lamar, Carson. Don't see a tornado on the ground right now. Need to keep watching that. Big storm with big hail coming into Beggs. And Seminole was trashed with that. You're now getting a nice break in Seminole, but the damage is done. That storm now is west of Cromwell with some big wind there. And again, that's going to be making its way north and east as well at a pretty good high rate of speed, 50 miles per hour. All right, west of Cromwell. There you go. There's your hail core now between Little and Cromwell. Big hail. And that storm gave Seminole golf balls confirmed. Showed you the video of that. And probably some tennis balls and maybe even some baseballs. Not everywhere, but we had some. Okay, let's come back down. We just got a lot going on here. Anything towering up on satellite on the dry line, West Metro, Justin? Nothing showing up?
What is this?
No, just watching that one in Stevens County right now.
Okay, and what?
No, I just kept seeing, trying to decide if it's false echo or not. But I don't see anything up in Blaine County.
What's it look like out of Vance?
No, and I don't see it on Echo Tops at all.
Okay.
Just looking on visible, so.
All right, you don't see a plume?
No.
No plumes?
No.
Okay. Talking about plumes, talking about if a tower goes up, it might not have any precip at all, or just a very little bit. And on satellite, you'll see it go up and it plumes, it goes up, and you'll get a little tiny anvil off the top. And we can see that sometimes before we start to see actually precip or returns on radar, okay? All right, so there's your dry line, guys.
Yeah, it firmed up really nicely there on radar. Tornado warning for Jefferson, Love, and Carter counties, David, with that storm that's going to be heading over towards the east, crossing the Red River now. Okay,
so Ardmore, we said this, I don't know, an hour ago. Ardmore down to Marietta. This is going to be a problem, right? If you know anybody that lives in Marietta, up to Ardmore, down to Thackerville, that's at the casino. You've got a supercell here developing, right? The tornado warning is for back here. And then we have another supercell with another hook here. So again, Carter, Love counties, there is a high probability, from what I'm seeing with that, there's going to be a tornado in the next hour to 2 hours, okay? So high probability. If I'm going to Vegas, I'm throwing some money on it. Down south, there's going to be at least a tornado down here. Okay, Carter, Love County, high probability of a tornado the next 2 hours. Okay, so severe storm now, crossing Highway 81, Marlow at Duncan. There's your dry line, snakes up 81, and it's actually backing up. See that? It's getting pushed.
Yep.
So that's a supercell, though. It's spinning.
The storm's forming a hook now.
Yep. Yep, hook's forming now southwest of Duncan. And it is a supercell. It's a rotating thunderstorm. Okay, so let's check it out here. Let's see. Nothing in Oklahoma City. That's the good news now. Everything's to our east. And this is going to have a huge impact on what does or does not happen in Oklahoma City. Okay? Simply put, it's going to have a huge impact because there's a lot of storms over here. And some of the data is still trying to break out storms along the dry line. And that certainly might happen, but not as many as what it was looking like. So that's a good thing. But still, only takes one storm to give you a bad day on a Monday. Is today Monday?
It is Monday.
Gotcha.
It is.
All right, Tulsa. Oh, by the way, Tulsa's going to get absolutely trashed.
Yeah, there's big, big hail.
Big hail.
Heading
right
up
over
Highway
Beggs.
75, right into Creek County, right into Tulsa.
Yeah, it's coming right in. It's just a mess. Okay, so let's take his shot full. Let's take remote 124. This is going to be Sequoia shot, and it's a little bit out of focus here. I want to see what he's. I know what he's looking at, but it doesn't look like it looks more like a tag versus a rotator. He's in the right spot.
Yeah, definitely.
He's in Lamar. Justin, we don't have Sequoia in, do we?
No.
Okay. That looks interesting, and that keeps changing.
So this is Hughes County. This is going to be east of Horntown, east of Holdenville, and this is part of the big complex of the one storm earlier that did produce a tornado
Yeah.
near Allen, but now it's weakened significantly.
Yeah, it is.
And that circulation's all the way up to Dustin now. This is a new area that he's looking at.
Yeah, no, second area down the line. Yeah, for sure. Okay. It's just when I look at it here, it's changing pretty quickly. That's why I was like, well, hang on a second. Okay, back to Links 1, tornado warning again. And again, down near Calvin. So what do we have on that? Let's take a look at...
Reflectivity, here's velocity.
Yeah.
There's nothing really in that hook down south.
No.
Starting to see another hook developing north of Holtonville.
Okay,
It's not very strong.
All right, let's go to that.
Right here. And if you put that, there's still nothing showing up in the low levels with it, though.
Nope. It's right here, and there's nothing that's jumping out at us right now. Let's go. Okay, there's shear rate, nothing.
Yep, nothing on max rod either.
And go back to reflectivity.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely has a hook. It's headed up towards Jaeger. Okay. All right, so Tom, farther south. Let's get an update from Tom Pastrano. He's going down Highway 1 again for the 100th time today. And Tom, what do you think? You're making your way back down Highway 1, and your storm is severe, but the hook is becoming a little more pronounced. Your storm is getting bigger, and Ada, it's going to get close to getting trashed again with more hail. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, so David, going down 1, I'm looking for a spot. I can see the darkness of the storm to my southwest. These storms are kind of training over each other. So Ada, as I was leaving, a lot of the roads were kind of flooded, a lot of high water over the curbs. So as these storms continue to train over Ada, along with the hail and the tornado threats, the flooding could kind of increase. They've had multiple storms since, I don't remember what day that was, Saturday, I think I was here. So they've had probably 2 or 3 inches of rain, and that flooding might be a threat also. So I'm looking over to the right-hand side, and I can see a ragged lowering. I don't see anything that's just screaming out that it's about to do something. You can see my shot right here, but yeah, it's very foggy, and even though we did have some heavy rain, the temperature is still in the 70s, and we have south winds here. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Tom. Again, that's the mesocyclone right there. Tom's looking right at it. There's the left side of it. There's the right side. This is, again, going down Highway 1, southwest of Ada. And not a tornado warning on it yet, but it is getting stronger for sure. Getting stronger. Okay, so we'll see what it does. Might not do anything at all except produce some wind and some hail. All right, let's go back to Links 1. And extremely unstable. Again, up and down Highway 81 or just west of 81, where the dry line is, very stable. So, unstable, stable there, very stable, very unstable, and the dry line acts like a trigger to get storms to develop. But the thing that continues to happen is we continue to get a big complex of storms here. And If that continues like it's doing, that's going to heavily impact what we see in Oklahoma City. What I'm saying is, if it keeps going like it's going, we will not see severe storms in Oklahoma City. It's going to be off to our east. Okay? So I'm just being honest with you here. We're doing this minute by minute, hour by hour. And there's a chance that that might happen. That here in Oklahoma City, everything is to our south and to our east. I know here in the metro, everyone's heartbroken over that, right? But again, don't go to Vegas on that one yet either, because some of the data still bring up, 1 or 2 storms off the dry line. But this continues to become the dominant feature because we just have a lot of storms up here. And these are firing off the dry line. They're firing in what we call the low-level jet and the moist axis. And so that happens. It happens a lot, and it's happening right now. The dry line is clear back here. So if those storms are coming off the dry line, well, they'd be all the way back here. So they're not. This one is. That came off the dry line, but none of the others did. All right, so there's Tom's supercell right there, and you can see nothing on the ground. We're looking at it, but it's a fairly big storm, but it's moving into a heavily worked over environment over there now. We've already had, how many, I don't know, two storms go through earlier. I don't know.
Multiple this morning,
yeah,
midday.
Yeah, so the atmosphere it's kind of worked over. We talked about this earlier. You work the atmosphere over, you're going to use up. There's only so much fuel in a day. Every day you're given what you're going to get from the sun, and once you use that up with a bunch of storms, well, that's going to have an impact on what you're left with for additional storms to develop. But, yeah, boy, big cluster, man, Tulsa, moving into Tulsa right now. All right, so here's this cell here. Brandon's coming in on that. And I see a shot. I see Tom's shot. And Tom, again, is looking back from pretty close to Ada. But this storm is severe, and it took off big time, was, again, very strong, pushing off to the northeast, but it's still severe. But the intensity, it's gone up, and it's just kind of holding its own. It's holding its own right now.
Yeah, it was exploding, with the lightning count with it was coming up, and at the moment it's not doing that. Still got a lot of lightning, still a severe storm, but it's not rapidly intensifying anymore currently.
Yeah. What's the lightning count on that?
5.
And
it's come down from what it was.
Yeah, so it's what do Vills look like again?
They're still the same. They pulse down a notch.
Okay, yeah. So it's not exploding, okay? It's not just like, oh my gosh, but it's gone up.
Some of these went from not there to severe in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Look at all the storms going on down south, right? Ardmore, big hail now, west side of Ardmore, down Highway 70, back to and south of Ringling. Big, huge hail down here south and east of Henrietta. I mean, gargantuan gorilla hail southeast of Henrietta. And big hail here and big hail here, and also big hail going to go right over Lake Texoma, like they haven't had enough problems with the flooding. Okay, so tornado warning again. This is going to be for Carter and Love County.
Oh, yep.
And let's take a look at this down here.
Okay.
The hook. One more time. Right there. Over Orr. It's going to Post Oak. It's going to Ardmore. It's going to go close to Ardmore. So any friends, family, interest in Ardmore, tornado warning for you. It's coming. It's not there officially yet. Okay, but it's close. All right, so let's go back to the northeast here, Lace.
Okay.
And, okay, so severe storm again, Marlow and Duncan area. And as we get off to the east here, severe storm now. Tornado warnings continue. And this is going to be for Hughes County, eastern Hughes County, near Crossroads. This continues to get better organized, but doesn't look like much.
Right. On reflectivity, you would expect the winds in that to look a lot different than what they actually look like. You go to it, and there's really nothing in there that's got, that's spinning at all.
No.
Which is great for folks in Hughes County, because the storm did produce a tornado farther to the south.
Yeah. And that whole thing, where is that whole circulation?
Way up north of Dustin
it's
now.
It's gone now,
yeah.
There it is. What's left of it.
Heading up to Henrietta.
Yeah, so Henrietta, it's right here. But what we're worried about is still back in here, but even what we have is still, it's right here. And it's right over Sequoia. He's right there, but I just don't see anything that's crazy. So tornado warning, though, does continue for east of Holdenville. And this is the new hook trying to develop. We've got a little bit of shear up here, but I mean, not worried about that either as it makes its way off to the northeast. Okay, let's pull back.
Okay.
And what do we have farther south? Okay, so Tom's on that.
Yep.
And not tornadic. Tom, I'm looking at Tom's shot. And this is going to be the next player right here. We'll see what it does. But also got to remember, there's got to be some kind of somewhat cooler, stable air that's come out of this.
It was generated by the outflow from the backside of that storm.
Yeah, that might not do it at all.
So.
Well, and if you look at it almost looks like it's making its own outflow to the north, up near Agawam, Ninnekah, up to Dibble. I'm curious, like Hank's winds are probably out of the due south and picking up just a little bit as this is pushing the air up to the north. It's also lifting more to the north at the moment. The storm over Marlow heading into Bailey. This is heading into Grady County, and instead of turning more to the northeast, it is moving more of a northerly direction. So right now it's moving out of the warning area, and it is borderline severe. It's not a very strong severe storm, but it could have some 60-mile-an-hour winds with it and quarter-size hail. Hail detector right now with that particular storm, it's right on Highway 81, is pea-size, pea to dime-size hail. But that can strengthen because we haven't had much in the way of storms over the last couple of hours in the area it's moving into. It's trying to kind of get away from all the stable air from this big complex of storms and push further north. And as it does that, there's a lot more to work with now once you get up towards Purcell, Norman, potentially. But the outflow from those storms to the east could impact it. We'll see how that one shakes out. Go further over to the east. If you know anyone that's about to travel up the Turner Turnpike and head towards Tulsa, tell them to wait a minute. You do not want to be on the Turnpike and coming into Tulsa and the Tulsa Metro as this is coming in. Also along I-40, anyone you know that may be traveling and heading eastbound on I-40, wait till this all ends because this would be an absolute nightmare in a vehicle. The hail within this, I'll just turn back on the hail detector. I've been watching these cores. They pulse up and they pulse down. We know we had golf ball size hail, maybe some tennis balls in Seminole. That storm now is producing maybe quarter to golf balls. It's weakened some. And then the big storm up Highway 75 has golf balls with it as well, maybe even stronger. The strongest storms right now, with the exception of the tornado warning storm in Hughes County, are all these storms down to the south. And David, they're making their way northeast. Just curious how long these are going to go northeast before they start to kind of weaken some. Well, it's got to be stabilized some once you get up towards Ada.
Yeah.
They're a long way from that.
They're a long way from
that. But.
And also, Justin, we need to be thinking about, once again, bringing Tom and flipping him and bringing him back southwest. I'm talking about Falls Creek and Sulphur. Okay. There's that heavy rain, Lace. Look at that.
Yeah, there's flash flood warnings in effect for these areas that I'm showing you here because, obviously, I'm going to turn off the warnings because there's just so much flashing there. It's hard to see. 2
inches plus?
Yeah, 2 to 3 inches of rain.
2.9.
In Hughes County.
Yeah, Hughes County. So we say this all the time, but people still lose their lives. Do not drive into water. Turn around. Don't die. Simply put. Right? So, hi.
Oh, hey.
Hi.
You are happening now. Now everyone knows.
I'm happening now. Okay, so big storms again. Tulsa over to east of Prague. And these storms are all severe in here. And the hail sizes might have come down.
They have a little bit. That's what we were just looking at is the hail sizes are a quarter to golf ball. We're not seeing the big baseball size hailstorm. So it's got to be stabilizing some. Yeah, and that's what we've been talking about the last couple of hours here is that you can't have this going on for many, many hours without impacting storms in a negative way, right? You just can't. These are using up a lot of the atmosphere. And also we go from unstable to somewhat stable because of all these storms. These will put out what we call a cold pool and all that rain hitting the ground and all that flooding that's going to fan out. So, folks, like I said earlier, if that plays out right, that might take Oklahoma City out of it. Might take the metro out of the storms today. How about that? All right, so let's turn the warnings back on just so we have them. Just want to see where everything is. But like you said here, talking about the hail sizes from Bristow back down to Welty, back down north of Cromwell, hail sizes have come down right over Boley and nickels and dimes and quarters, but we're not seeing the golf balls and the tennis balls and the baseballs. Okay, so that's good. Hail sizes have come down. There we go. Now it's going to... And it's going northerly, you know. I just wonder how stable we are Purcell, Norman, Noble, Etowah.
Yeah.
It's going to try to feed up a little farther north and get away from those storms.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's, Brandon's right here. And let's get an update from Brandon here.
Okay, and I'll get a
Justin.
track going on that.
Okay, yep, that'd be fine. Brandon Pennell, you are coming in from the northeast. Give us an update on that storm. Okay, give us an update on that storm.
Yeah, David, we're in Lindsay right now. We were just talking about it in the truck. We've been seeing some kind of little boundary, outflow boundary or something that was floating around, and there's multiple towers now that are from this storm just west-southwest of Lindsay all the way back up to the north, probably up somewhere around Chickasha. They're kind of turkeys right now. They go up, they kind of come back down, but they're thinking about it. We could tell that this storm really weakened, and then it seems to have got an uptick, and we've got strong southeasterly winds feeding into this in Lindsay right now. So the atmosphere, and we're sitting at 85 degrees, so the atmosphere in front of this, if it turns back to the northeast and gets off that northward movement, is still pretty prime. So we're trying to get in position. We're going to take the highway north and then back northwest and get right in front of this thing and let it come right over the top of us and then get underneath it and see what's going on. Back to you.
All right, nice job. Hey, Brandon, before you do that here, let's give me just a second here. I just want to make sure that you shouldn't go south. I know what you're thinking about. Just hang on. We'll talk to Justin. We'll get this figured out here. Let's go back to Links 1 here. Let me take a look. Lapsus.
Okay.
Let's see. There's the hook. Okay. Yeah, he's going to be fine. You're good. Tell Brandon he's good. Yeah, get up towards Bradley, and then we'll get in on the hook. Okay, so that, again, is going to be racing northeast. Lacey, just take it here just for a second.
We got
I've
a storm track on links
take care of one thing.
So while we've got the storm that he's talking about, Brandon just showed you, because this thing is moving at 50 miles per hour to the northeast, and this is making a run up towards the south side of the Oklahoma City metro. So here's some of the latest times of arrival for you. This will be moving into Lindsay at 4:09, Blanchard at 4:25, Purcell 4:30, Norman 4:39. So in less than an hour, this is coming into the south metro. No idea, really, honestly, what exactly this will look like as it comes in. But with the way the parameters are today, this thing could ramp up very, very easily. And there's very much a tornado threat with this storm as it moves to the northeast. So we'll see how that shakes out. Coming into Tinker Air Force Base at 4:54, Choctaw at 5, Tecumseh at 5 o'clock. And then further down the line here, Shawnee at 5:10. If it holds on to Seminole, 5:20, and that's not very long because of how quickly this is moving. So as Brandon was saying, it really started to weaken. The lightning count has come up with it. The hail core is starting to come up with it a little bit, and we're starting to see a little bit more of an inflow notch. So if you zoom in, you can see where you've got this little bit of a weakness between Bailey and Marlow. That's where we are getting some inflow into that storm, and no big circulation showing up with it. Nothing wild at the moment, but it's very much severe. Could have some quarter-size hail and winds to 60 miles per hour. And then I want to go back over to the east and show you the storm where the tornado warning has been. And this is going to be Hughes County. We'll start there. Back up near Destin and Carson. Golf ball size hail still possible with that storm. It is moving so fast. It's going to be out of Hughes County in the next 15 minutes. And if you look at velocity, we're still not seeing anything that shows up like what we had with the tornado near Allen previously. Okay, nothing nearly that tight, nothing organized. The circulation that we are seeing is east of Carson, south of Destin, and this is going to be making its way up towards Hanna and then eventually Salem, kind of the western sides of Lake Eufaula for folks familiar. And this is going to be well east of Oklahoma City, but that is an area of circulation. Then the next severe storm down the line is this one coming in near Bing and Sissaquah. This is going to head up towards Spalding, Holdenville. You've had so many rounds of rain. You have a flash flood warning right now through these same areas because you've had 2 to 3 inches of rain. This is going to add to that. So you already don't want to be out on the roads and traveling because you have the wind and the hail threat. There's still a tornado threat, but the flooding threat really ramping up now for the southern portions of Seminole County, for Hughes County, and northern Pontotoc County. So looking to the north, here's north of Ada. Ada, you're in the clear at the moment. There is some circulation there north of Ada. This is going to be along 377, weak area of circulation and maybe some quarter-size hail with that particular storm. And it's moving quickly, but it's moving into what has to be, like David was saying, the atmosphere very worked over in Hughes County right now. And if it starts to ramp back up and look more threatening, we'll get back to that storm. The storms are not severe right now along I-40 from Boley to Welty, and then we're dry. right now in Oklahoma City. You're looking off to the south, you can see these big storms coming, but nothing going on right now in the Oklahoma City metro, nothing back to the west of the metro as of now. The next storm that we're watching to potentially really rapidly intensify is going to be the one in Grady County. And of course, the tornado warning, it continues in south central Oklahoma. The tornado warning continues for just to the west of Ardmore. That's still a very strong storm, but no active tornado warnings going on with the exception in our viewing area, with the exception of Hughes County. And that storm has weakened significantly from what it was. So David, the Grady County storm, the hook on it, a little more pronounced. It's still not showing much in the way of low level rotation at all.
Yeah, and it's a supercell. I mean, we all know that, right? It's a, why am I having?
What'd you do? Oh, you got some business to take care of?
Well, I don't need the phone on me right now.
Okay.
Not taking a call.
All your best friends are right here.
Well, you know what? It's funny is friends have still text and call during when they're watching and they're like, I don't have time.
They just want to know if you're going to do it. Like, maybe he'll answer, watch this.
Or or they'll think that, I'm like, I'm trying. I mean, I step out, I try. Okay. All right. So, yeah, it's a big storm still. No doubt about it. It is a supercell, and it does have a hook, but, and it's getting larger. Go ahead and okay, so we had the greens. Now we're back down some. But it is a little bit larger, so it's kind of a trade-off. It's a larger storm, but just not quite as strong. But again, we have Hank to the north. Hank's going to get in on it. And we have Brandon. Where's Brandon's GPS? Let me see where he is.
Go back to Links 1 here.
Links 1 control room.
There he is.
And there he is. Okay. I just want to I want to see him on a map. All right. So that's coming into him. And I see his shots. His shot's right here. And we'll see if this thing doesn't ramp up just a little bit here. But remember, this is being impacted. Said this 2 hours ago. Well, we've been talking about this with us, or the weather team, that all this is going on down here. And again, it's going to have an impact on what's to the west because there's only so much room between all this convection and the dry line that's going to fire storms. Okay, so in between that, there's only a window in there where you're going to have so much instability available. So still going to watch the possibility of storms taking off here in Oklahoma City and the metro, and again, up I-35. But right now, it's been all over here. It's been well east of the dry line. It's been, again, on the moist axis. And then here's what you have right here in southeastern Grady County with that one lonely cell that is actually struggling right now. So the only game in town is going on down south. All right, let's talk about the tornado warning down in Carter County.
Okay.
And big hail now on 70, crossing 70, right over Wilson. Big hail there. Talking about tennis balls and maybe even some baseball-sized hail.
And if you look at the track of this is still lifting northerly, which may put it back into Murray County. What do you think, David, as it moves, northeast?
Yeah. It's definitely coming north, for sure. Definitely coming north.
Radars here.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. Yeah, there's the area of spin. And again, you folks have interests that are going to be, tornado's going to be right. And I'll go back to links. What were we on? Links 1?
I'm on 1, yeah.
Okay, right here. See that? That's the tornado. This is Highway 70. That's Ardmore. And the problem is that this is going to make its way, the way it is right now, up into, again, Falls Creek area, maybe back into the Sulphur area. It's still a ways away from you. Atmosphere is pretty worked over, but nonetheless, the tornado warning continues, and it'll make its way up north towards Newport and Glen and Falls Creek.
Let me fix this 1 second.
Justin, is Tom headed south? Yeah. Southwest, Justin?
Actually, him and I were talking about that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's turning around in Ada and coming back southwest. Just trying to figure out what those storms, that main tornadic storm, if that's just going to be the lead anchor that's going to push everything east. Doesn't allow anything to come north.
I know, and that might happen. And that would leave Oklahoma City high and dry. Okay, that's what we've been talking about because of all the storms that have gone up to the south and east of us. And that's a chance that certainly happens. And we are left with nothing.
The latest high-res data still pops several storms kind of right along I-35, a county west of I-35 in north central Oklahoma as well. We'll see. I mean, there's still that window there for that to happen.
And that's way away from any convection.
It is,
so that would make sense. But the storms that have been close to central Oklahoma, that is a problem. And it's a good problem to have because it stabilizes the atmosphere around it. Other storms that we're going to try to go up on the dry line are like, oh, I don't think so. I think that's why that storm is struggling, again, to the southwest of the metro. So Lone Grove at 4:05, Springer, let's see, at 4:20, Falls Creek 4:30, and we'll do Doherty at 4:31, Davis at 4:35, Wynnewood at 4:46, and Hickory at 4:51, okay? But making its way northeast, Sulphur's up in here. Sulphur's right there, and that's where the tornado is, right here. It's right there, and then pushing off to the northeast. Okay, I see Brandon's shot, and let's go to Brandon here. He's back farther north on this supercell right here, and it's a rotating storm. Let's get an update. Okay, I see it. Yeah, a little bit of a feeder band coming in from the northeast side. Brandon, what do you think? Looking at the storm itself, on storm strength, you've seen a lot of storms over your career. What do you think looking at it right now?
So, David, right now what I can tell you is that it's still a little bit in the struggle stage. It's wanting to think about going up and kind of maintaining itself, but it's still having some problems. One thing I will say that it might have going for it right now, though, is it's kind of reestablished what looks like its main updraft somewhere probably just on the southeast side or something like that of Rush Springs. And the lightning is slowly increasing, and now we have a feeder band that's trying to form on the east side. As we pan the camera, you're going to be able to see it starting to develop, and then it's being pulled in from the east and the northeast back into the storm. So it does have a few things going for it, even though there are storms to the southeast that have kind of disrupted what's going on up here. And like I was saying earlier, though, we're still in a pretty unstable environment, even though those storms are to the south. We're at 82 degrees and, whatever the dew point is right now. So it's still pretty hot and humid down here. So we're right underneath it. We're trying to figure out exactly what we think and then position ourselves to be right underneath or right in front of the mezzo if it continues to develop to bring it into the south metro. Back to you.
All right, nice job. He's right where he should be, right where he needs to be, down in southeastern, again, Grady County. All right, let me show you what that storm looks like on radar. That's what it looks like from his shot. And then here's the hook right here, just east of Rush Springs, right here, and making its way northeast towards Bradley and Kreiner and Dibble, right, Slaughterville. But it's not a guerrilla storm, okay? It's strong. It's severe, nickels and dimes and quarters. It has a hook on it, but it's certainly not like, okay, hang on, we have problems right now. But it's kind of ramped up. Lace, what about storm strength on that? Anything changed here in the last? Looks like it's still holding its own.
Let me take a look here.
I cannot hear you.
Hello?
Now I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me take a look here. Storm strength has come up some, David. The lightning count has definitely come up.
Okay.
Some on that.
All right. So it's strengthening. Hank's off to the northeast.
Yep.
So, and the way it's going, folks, this is coming into the metro. Okay. That's coming into the metro. So either way, we're here. Weather team's in. Trackers are all out. Guess what starts right now? 4 o'clock. Guys, back to you.
You're right, David. We're talking about that tornado threat. It is ramping up this evening for some, and we've already seen one tornado in Allen. That's between Pontotoc and Hughes County. That happened just before 3 o'clock today. So thanks for being with us. I'm Bobby Miller.
And I'm Carl Torp. We do have crews checking with businesses down there in Allen to see what kind of damage we're dealing with right now. But we also do have a tornado warning, and so let's get it back to Chief Meteorologist David Payne with the latest on these storms.
All right, guys. Yeah, big storms going on, but still questions remain on what's going to happen here in Oklahoma City. Tornado watch continues, right, for northern, central, southern Oklahoma. It does include Oklahoma City up until 7 o'clock. But notice all the storms going on here out ahead of the dry line. There's so many storms that is impacting what is happening farther west. Some of the data still say that we get a couple of storms up and down the dry line. May or may not happen because of what's happening to our east. And if that happens, Oklahoma City, we're left high and dry. Not there yet because we have a storm to our south that's going to make its way at least up into the south and southeast metro. But that's your big tornado watch right now. All right, let's do I'll tell you what, links 2 on the storm track, Lacey.
Yep, I'm getting it here. There you go.
Yep. And let's take a look at this. And this is a storm that is now headed
I'm going to fan it out just a little bit.
Towards the metro.
There you go.
Okay. Now, again, as far as additional storms developing, that may or may not happen. This, the way it is right now, is coming into Oklahoma City. Okay? Now, this is just one storm, and it is severe, but it's not producing baseballs or tennis balls right now. Nickels and dimes and quarters with winds upwards of about 50 to 60 miles per hour. But there's your storm track with this one cell. That's it right now, headed for the metro. Blanchard at 424, Newcastle 433, Norman at about 437, Moore at about 443, and Tinker Air Force Base 451, downtown Oklahoma City at about 450, and then down the line, Edmond at about 5 o'clock, and Shawnee at about 5:09. So once again, moving north-northeast, okay? So Lacey laughs at.
Okay.
I see the warning polygon here. That's why I was kind of looking at the.
Hold on 1 second. I was on a different computer. Yeah, that part of it is moving more northerly.
Yeah.
I'll just take the whole thing to kind of show you.
Yeah, it's almost got a little bit of a split on it.
Yeah.
I thought it's not, but I thought maybe it might be trying to split. Okay, so
It doesn't change any of the arrival times, but it would include Tuttle.
Yes. Yep. Tiger Safari 430, Tuttle 432, Norman 437, and here's your timelines. The farther you go down the list, the farther the storm is, or the time of arrival is going to be later for you, right? Guthrie at about 523, while Tuttle's at 430. All right. So what's your speed on that? Just curious.
I did 50.
Okay, gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be here in 10 minutes.
And
I'm kidding, but it's nearly a mile a minute.
It is.
Nearly a mile a minute. So coming into the Southwest Metro at 424.
And it may be, speed up and be a little faster. It could go a little slower, but.
Okay, so this is the supercell, rotating thunderstorm, headed towards Oklahoma City, coming in from the south. And again, Dustin Stone in Bob Mill Sky News 9 will be on this shortly. He's just about there. He'll come in from the east and the south. And okay, it's getting stronger now. Okay. Hail cores come up. You plan on getting over? And let's go back to hills. Okay, yeah. Looking at low level rotation there. There's your hail quarters, but shear rate.
Not showing anything at the moment.
Nothing back here.
Nothing. No.
Okay.
Not that I've seen.
All right.
But the hook is there. It's starting to get at least a little bit more of a pronounced hook.
Yep. Flanking line beginning to fill in on the southwest side.
Man, it's moving.
Yeah.
Watch this. This is, that's not what you want. This is what you want. Watch this 15-minute lapse of it surging north.
Yeah. But also look at it. Look how in the last 5 minutes how it's gone from this to that.
Starting to get more of a V-notch, too, around the hail core.
You see that? Mm-hmm. Right there.
Yep.
That's an indication of a deepening, strengthening, rotating thunderstorm. It's V-notched. We don't have a screaming eagle yet because we don't have the beak. We know what that means, right? But it's thinking about it. Okay, hail is getting bigger now west of Ellick.
And we have no tornado warnings right now. This is the storm that we're watching. We're watching the storm south of Ardmore, David.
Yep. And no tornado warnings down south. But once again, this is making its way off to the north now at nearly 50-plus miles per hour. So we have Hank on the north side, and we have, again, Brandon right here looking right at it. So let's go to Brandon Panel. Let's bring Brandon back in here. Brandon, your hail is getting bigger. Your storm now is getting stronger. It's racing north, Brandon, at 50. So you're going to have to be moving and a grooving. Close to 60, Lacey's saying now. I can't hear you. And, okay. Are you on?
Yeah.
Okay. She's on control room. She's been on. All right. So there it is. Again, that's Brandon's shot. Brandon, go ahead. I know you're making your way through the trees. Go ahead and give us an update.
Okay, David. We just came through the town of Alex. And one thing I could tell you is the storm has really changed shape structurally. It appears to have, I know we've had a little bit of southwesterly surface winds in this area that's kind of faint, but the southerly winds have really picked up, feeding back up into this since this thing has got established. And it appears, I know you said it's moving close to 50 or 60, but it appears to me that it is trying to anchor, and the main mezzo, it's not clear cut in the shot right now, but the storm appears to me that it's attempting to slow down. So that would tell me it's getting rooted in the boundary layer, and then you know what happens from there if it can get well established. So we're right where we need to be. We're staying right on the northeast side of the mezzo. We're kind of in the rain right now, but I can tell you the lightning has picked up dramatically in the past 15 minutes. So It's on an upward trend right now as it's headed towards the South Metro. Back to you.
All right, nice job, Brandon. So Brandon, again, down on that storm right now. And again, this is what we have to worry about here. The data continues to develop some isolated supercells along the dry line. There will be some impact from the storms to our east, but what impact that will have as far as severity goes is yet to be determined, right? So we'll have to wait and see. But here's a problem right now, and I see the clock. I got it. Thank you. Okay, so V0 supercell coming in again from, it's now just to the southwest of Ellick. It's making its way off to the north-northeast at roughly 60 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. We have Hank to the north, and he's going to catch it, and he'll stay up with it along with Brandon. But we're going to have additional storms also to the north. It's going to try. We're going to try to get additional supercells. Again, Highway 81 over to I-35 right along the dry line. And the dry line's right in here. You can see it showing up. Right to pretty much Highway 81, it looks like. Is it through El Reno, the dry line? That's the trigger, right, that fire these storms. Okay, but nothing in Oklahoma City right now. Let's do a storm track.
Okay, Lynx 1.
And Lynx 1.
Lynx 2, sorry.
Lynx 2. Okay, Dibble 411, Middleburg 411. We'll say Blanchard 415, and Newcastle 424. Southwest Oklahoma City, Will Rogers at 430. So that's how fast it's moving at 60 miles per hour. It's going to go from there to there. Could it produce a tornado? Absolutely. Okay, Moore 436. Moore is going to kind of be on the eastern side of that, but that could change certainly some. And Oklahoma City downtown at 440. The Zoo 446. The Village 446. And Midwest City at about 449. So as of right now, no tornado warnings in effect. The tornado watch is in effect until 7. It includes all of Oklahoma City. Severe weather, Green Country, Tulsa down to Henrietta. Ada, you're getting a break. More severe weather south of Sulphur down to Ardmore, but not tornadic down here right now. And the storm, again, coming into the southwest metro here shortly is not tornadic, but it is strong, it is severe, lifting north-northeast at nearly 60 miles per hour, capable of large hail and damaging winds. Folks, we're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll be right back. Stay by News 9. We'll keep you advised.
Tomorrow on Dr. Phil. It's a face-off 20 years in the making. A traumatized daughter meets the father who murdered her mother.
Are you ready to do this?
You can bring him out. Why would you do that? My mother was in a grave. You're not.
Shot her down like a dog in the yard.
Don't miss the explosive reunion.
Get the camera out of my face. You're a pompous ass.
Everybody out.
The Dr. Phil 2-day event.
Because that is a bald-faced lie.
That's tomorrow.